The NDP government has mastered the art of pretending to consult after they have already made up their minds. The most recent example is the review of our labour laws here in Alberta, which has been given 5 whole weeks for Albertans to provide feedback on what many are worried will be a major overhaul. A similar review in Ontario took 2 years, Mr. Speaker. Whoa. Even a backbench bill on daylight savings time is being given more consideration than this review on our labour laws. Why is the Premier putting decades of labour peace in Alberta at risk by only allowing a very little time for feedback from Albertans?
The Honourable Premier.
Well, Mr. Speaker, in fact, we are engaging with Albertans on these issues, and we have been since we've been elected. And you know what, Mr. Speaker, the last time the Labour Code was reviewed in Alberta, Rick Astley was on the top 10. You know, it is time for us to move forward to modernize our labour laws, to bring Alberta into the 21st century when it comes to labour laws, Mr. Speaker, and we're going to do that in a balanced way that talks to people from both sides and moves the matter forward in a way that strengthens our economy and creates more jobs for Albertans.
First supplemental.
Not only is the NDP government's labour consultation process far too short, it's also not asking the right questions. The public is only being solicited for its opinions on the employment standards portion of the review, Mr. Speaker. Card check certification and rules around union dues aren't even up for public consideration. Will the Premier admit that the fix is in on this labour review and they are trying to overhaul a labour system that has worked well in Alberta for many decades?
Don't worry, we're never... Well, Mr. Speaker, let us begin by acknowledging that there are multiple components of the Labour Code, which, to be clear, hasn't been really amended since the late 80s, that have actually been challenged under our Charter of Rights and Freedoms. So it's not actually working quite as well as they'd like everyone to believe. But that being said, Mr. Speaker, our government has asked Andy Sims to engage in a fulsome, thoughtful engagement with employers and with unions, and that's because it's a very complex area, and these are the folks that understand the issues, Mr. Speaker. And we're also looking at what's going on across the country, and Mr. Speaker, we're going to make sure that we move forward.
Thank you, Honourable Premier. Thank you. Second supplemental.
Interesting answer, Mr. Speaker. You don't have to take my word for that. The NDP minds are made up. Just look at the union notice put together by UFCW 401. It's no secret that they are close friends to the NDP, and their brief actually talks about eliminating secret ballots and replacing them with a card check and introducing sectoral bargaining that will remove differentiation between businesses in the same sector. Ramifications of serious nature, Mr. Speaker. Why is the Premier refusing to listen to the serious concerns of workers and businesses in Alberta and pushing these labour measures in only 5 weeks for Albertans to have any feedback? It's ridiculous, Mr. Speaker.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. And the member opposite is identifying one set of proposals that has come from one group. And in fact, there are other proposals coming from other groups, which would be the exact opposite from that. And other proposals that, from a broad range of groups. And that is evidence that we are, in fact, consulting with people, and that the people who understand the issues are getting a chance to make their representations, and that's exactly what the consultation is for, Mr. Speaker. So I thank the member for pointing out that it's working, Mr. Speaker.